I say spice, I mean like something that tingles your palate, spicy, but also like baker's spice. You know what baker's spice is?
No.
Like whenever I talk about a cigar and I say it has a baker's spice type of flavor, what it is that baker's spice is something you can buy out of a grocery store, right? It is an amalgamation of different types of, it's like cinnamon, nutmeg, brown sugar, cardamom, and anise. You mix all those things together and you got this baker's spice, which people use in like pastries and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's not sweet, but when you taste it, you be like, God damn, this is such a fucking interesting goddamn, you know what I'm saying, spice, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It has that flavor profile. Like when people say, I smoke a cigar, I taste cinnamon. Nigga, no you don't. Unless the goddamn cigar is infused with cinnamon, you don't taste cinnamon. What you're tasting is some from an element of baker's spice. And it may be a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that or whatever. But it's not cinnamon that you're tasting. You can't even put baker's spice on your tongue and be like, oh, I taste cinnamon. Oh, I taste nutmeg.
But why can't they taste that when you always talk about, a flavor depends on the person?
Okay, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like you
No,
totally discounting somebody else's interpretation
You're
of the
absolutely
same
right.
cigar.
You're
That's a
absolutely right.
good point.
And I'm agree with that. And the way that I come at it is like I'm coming from.
And that's why. No, let me say this. That's why.
Don't say it.
people
Don't
thought-
say it. Don't say it.
Don't
Don't
say
say
it.
it.
Clint.
Don't say it. I knew where you was
I'm
going.
your man. I'm keeping 100 with you. That's why people thought you was
I know you
an asshole.
were.
No, that's not what you taste. It's
Right,
cardamom,
you
nigga.
ain't tasting that shit,
It's baking
motherfucker. You
spice. It's
wrong.
not
You
cinnamon.
wrong, motherfucker.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take it.
See what I'm saying? I challenge brothers.
No. I'm gonna take exactly what you said, and I'm gonna agree with you. Right.
Right.
The reason that I come, the way I'm able to come from that perspective is that I do things that most people
cannot
don't
justify
no,
it.
I
It
can't.
has to stop
no,
right there.
No, stop. Listen, I can justify it. I'm not saying by my justification that it's right. I'm just saying this is how I come about it. So all I'm simply saying is, just like you said, everybody's palate is different. We all agree on that, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. We
Yeah,
all agree
absolutely.
on everybody's palate is different. Right. Cool. You can improve your palate by doing certain things, right? Most people don't even do these things. I do shit like I go in my cabinet and I go pull out spices, not things that are mixed together, but like I'll pull out black pepper, white pepper, red pepper, brown sugar, vanilla, lemon juice, fucking lime juice, and all other kind of individual spices, and I put them on my tongue and I taste them in my palate. Do that, and I do it over and over and over again, right? And then later on, I'll go smoke a cigar and I'll be like, what am I tasting? Because when I smoke a cigar, it's not just about the feeling. I want to understand what it is that I'm tasting. That's why I also do retrohales. Because when you do a retrohale, you get more of the flavor that the blender intended for you to get because you're using your olfactory senses in tandem with your palate, right?
Right.
So I use all of these things that are at my disposal to try to come up with what I think this cigar tastes like.
Right.
And then I go look at who reviewed this cigar. I go look at Cigar Coop. I go look at Halfway. I go look at Cigar Aficionado and Cigar and Spirits. And I try to see like, okay, what did they say? And more often than not, I find that most of these people, 75% of what I taste,
Agree with you.
they got.
They agree with you.
Because I have trained my palate to pick up certain notes in a cigar.
But still, you cannot discount.
I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying
Other
this
way
is
other
what
people
this is what
interpret
I
it.
do, right? But what I do is the same thing you can do, and
Right.
she can do, and anybody else can do.
Right.
But it's just that most people that I've come in contact with, either personally or on Facebook groups or Instagram, most people are not interested in trying to understand the different flavor nuances that they get. Like when Judah was sitting there talking about, I love a cigar that has transitions, just like you did, right? There's a lot of people can't even pick up transitions
No.
in a cigar.
No.
As long as the cigar tastes like a little bit of what they expect it to taste like, and it gives them the feeling of what they want,
Right.
fuck the
They don't-
flavor.
right.
They don't give a damn about it. As long as it's not something that's
They're not
off-putting,
that deep.
they don't give a shit.
Right.
And I am one of those folks that's like, I believe that whether it be cigars, scotch, whiskey, bourbon, coffee, I want to understand what it is that you intended for me to get when you made this. You see what I'm saying? That's why I make cigars at home. Because I'm like, I'm so interested in what and how a blender does this shit.
Right.
I want to understand what it is that you intended for me to get when you make a cigar. Case in point. So you've heard of Illusione cigars, right?
Yeah, I heard of them. Never had them.
You probably have. You probably just didn't know.
Right.
But Illusione cigars. What's his name? Dion Giolotto or something like that over Illusione cigars. You know who it is. Tall white dude with the long sideburns and shit. But anyway, I'm in one of his in his Facebook group for his cigars, right? And he was posted this video about him testing tobacco. So I told him, I was like, hey, this is what I do when I make a cigar. I build a cigar inside out, meaning I start with the filler, then I go with the binder, then I go with the wrapper. And I will take a particular leaf, like for argument's sake, let's say it's some Criollo 98 Viso.
Right.
I will make a fuma out of that, which means I would take a single leaf, I put another single leaf on over tip to tail, and I will roll it together, and then I will smoke it from tip to tail. And I will write notes about what does it taste like here, what does it taste like here,
Right.
what does it taste like here.
Right.
How does the flavor change? How does the strength change? How does the body change, right? I would do that for every particular leaf that I'm intending to put in a cigar. I would write those notes down. Then I'd be like, okay, cool. This cigar starts off with this note, and this note, and it gradually dissipates. Well, this tobacco starts off with this note. Like, I don't want this note that's so strong to interfere with this note, which
Right.
is like medium. I'm gonna flip the leaf, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna roll this one tip to tail. I'm gonna roll this one tail to tip, right? Then I'm gonna put them together. I'm gonna smoke it like, that's good, right? But this is one leaf, and that's another leaf. I'm like, but this leaf is still stronger than that one. I'll unroll it. I would take out a half a leaf of this other one. For argument's sake, let's say a Piloto Cubano, right?
Yo, you go.
So I would say Criollo 98.
Doesn't he?
cigar shit like.
Right?
But like, you
Which
know what I'm
I
saying?
love.
He dissects this shit.
Absolutely.
But that's what I do. So I'm like, I got a whole leaf of Criollo 98, then I got a half a leaf of Piloto Cubano. I got this one rolled tip to foot, and I got the other one rolled foot to tip. Now like half leaf, whole leaf, I'm smoking like, now it tastes like what I wanted it to taste like, right?
You ill with it, bro.
But that's what I fucking do.
Yeah.
So the point of me saying all that is I was telling the owner of Illusione Cigars in the group, this is what I do. You know what he said? You're doing it the right way. I ain't never had nobody teach me this shit. I learned everything
By trial
I know
and error.
By trial and error. I learned all this shit by watching the same 3 videos on YouTube over and over again. I watched this lady in Cuba, at La Casa del Habano, make cigars. I watched her. I watched this cat down the Dominican Republic make cigars. I watched this dude out of Nicaragua make cigars.
Right.
And everybody had like different little bunching techniques, wrapping, capping, and all this kind of shit. But I weave all of that shit in, right? And that's what I do. And that's why I have a deep appreciation of cigars from a different level than most people who just smoke cigars.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That's evident.
That's it.
That's evident.
That's all I'm saying.
That's evident. Wow.
And I'm not saying that because I have this knowledge that I'm better than you. No, it's not about that. It's just I feel like we are each one teach one, right?
Right.
If you have some experiences that I don't have, then by all means, Clint, show me, teach me. Teach me what it is you know through your experience. Share it with me. I feel like you should reciprocate. Like, all right,
Which is
cool.
what everybody
I should be
wants
able
to be
say,
done.
like,
If
know
you really
what?
love cigars, you're gonna want that knowledge. You're gonna
Yes.
want that.
You should.
Right.
You should want that knowledge, right? You know what I'm saying? But again,
Oh,
a lot of
otherwise,
people
why
don't
you
really care
doing
about
it?
this shit.
Right.
Why the fuck are you doing it?
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people just don't appreciate it because they don't really care
Some
about
people
it.
just want something in their mouths while they
But
playing golf and
funniest
shit,
shit I've
or
ever
they watching
seen.
football.
Funniest
They
shit
don't-
I've ever seen is watching Jeezy the rapper smoke a
Right.
cigar with the cedar wrapper still on it.
Yeah.
Right. Still
The
on
cedar
the
wrapper
wrapper,
still
on the
I'm like, what
cigar.
are you doing? I
Right.
was like, what the fuck?
You see that torch over there.
I'm
Good
like,
shit. Good shit.
Yeah.